Meatstock says, so for a starter, I got my cousin now to hold 3 million sats. Do you think she's got an okay amount? I mean, yeah. That's 3.1 million sats more than the majority of people, the significant majority of people. Will she be able to retire in a year? No. But if she holds on to it for a decade or two, she's going to be laughing. I think he said she. Yeah, she. Okay, let's watch this video here. So this is a video I wanted to watch today because on Friday we had our Bitcoin Amigo show, and Jerry and I got into a little debate about how it's all going to play out. He thought it would be about 10 years for Bitcoin to flip gold, the market cap of gold, which I didn't really understand, because he thought that he said he wouldn't be surprised if it got to 1 million in 2025, which would flip gold itself. But he just thinks that it's going to take about 10 years for most people to come to terms with gold and governments to start buying gold or selling gold to buy Bitcoin. And he could be right. He could be bang on. My argument there was that if Trump gets in and the US starts buying Bitcoin, it's all predicated on the US. I think that if the US does nothing with their gold and keeps it and just, converts their seized Bitcoin into the reserve, I don't think much will happen there. But if Trump comes out and says we're selling some of our gold, as this video suggests, then I think it's going to happen very fast. The US, everybody looks to the US in terms of influence. And I really think that if they make a move and start selling some of their gold, that's going to trigger a big time chain reaction for other countries. Because you have to understand that if that's a signal that the US makes, that means they're going to start dumping some gold or gold certificates here, as Cynthia Lummis will say. But when the supply increases, who's going to buy that? Who's buying that supply? Other countries? If the other country sees the US selling, do you think that these other countries are going to be like, oh, we're going to buy the dip here. We're going to buy the gold dip here and hope the US changes their minds about it? I don't think so. But I could be wrong too. That's the nice thing about it, is I don't claim to be right. I'm just giving my opinion on things here. So let's listen to Cynthia Lummis. This is the Bitcoin reserve strategy that she's talking about and what it could look like if the government starts listening to her. If Trump takes office and starts listening to Cynthia.
The other thing is the proposal that I have and that President Trump has discussed about a strategic Bitcoin reserve or strategic Bitcoin stockpile, where the United States would acquire and hold Bitcoin for 20 years. Because of the way that Bitcoin has been appreciating since inception, this would be an asset that could help shore up the US dollar as the world reserve currency and serve as a reserve that could be used to reduce the national debt significantly. The American people are still hurting from inflation, from high prices, and they want the national debt reduced. These are ways to do it with an asset that is immutable, can easily be held by the federal government in a variety of vaults, and that states can participate in as well. So this is the gold standard digital asset, and a strategic Bitcoin reserve is the way to embed it.
We got off the gold standard a long time ago. My question is how much you would spend tax dollars at a time when we're talking about trying to reduce costs. How much would you spend on Bitcoin as part of this reserve?
We wouldn't have to spend any new dollars. We have reserves at our 12 Federal Reserve banks, including gold certificates that could be converted to current fair market value. They're held at their 1970s value on the books, and then sell them into Bitcoin. That way, we wouldn't have to use any new dollars in order to establish this reserve. The United States already holds over 200,000 Bitcoin in the asset forfeiture funds. So that would be the initial source of Bitcoin. So no new money spent on this reserve.
Well, lots to uncover there, that's for sure. I think we can do a full show talking about that and the implications of what the US selling their gold would look like. But it was interesting to me that she said gold certificates. What does that suggest to you? That the Federal Reserves, 12 across the country, are holding gold certificates. To what? Where's the gold? I don't know. I don't know the whole story behind Fort Knox and the U.S. gold reserves, but where's the gold? And why is it being held at the 1970s value? Is that because that's the only time that it was still relevant? Like, here's the really crazy thing for me, is that if you consider what's happened since 1970 in the last 50 years, if you consider the amount of money that has been printed, I really think that gold is significantly undervalued right now compared to fiat. Like, even if let's look at this. I didn't really expect to talk about this today, but let's look at the US debt clock and see what, based on the printing that the US has done in the last 50 years, let's look at what the fair price of gold would be. See if I can find it here. This is a crazy website. usdebtclock.org. Look at that. Look at that. It's just ticking up. $36.2 trillion in debt. Debt per citizen, 100,000. So you're born into the US tomorrow, you got $107,000 worth of debt on your shoulders. That is fucking insane. You're a taxpayer, in addition to the taxes that you pay every year, you owe $271,000 because of the government printing money. Congratulations. But where's the dollar to gold here? Right here. Oh, I can't zoom more. Can I? Yeah, you can see it here. So we see the dollar to gold ratio now. So that's crazy. Look at this. The dollar to gold ratio back in 1913, before the Federal Reserve, before they were allowed to print money, $25 an ounce for gold. Now it's $8,481 per ounce. That's just based on the money printer. So do I think that the gold is undervalued? Yes. Significantly. Does that mean that I would go out and buy gold, sell Bitcoin to buy gold? No. That to me suggests that if gold is undervalued, let's say that gold is undervalued, even, what is it now? 2,000 an ounce, 3,000 an ounce. Let's say it's worth 5,000 an ounce. That's pretty much double. So then you double the market cap, which means that if Bitcoin were to go 1-to-1 with gold, with a double the market cap of gold, that would put Bitcoin at about 1.6 million fair value today, the actual value of Bitcoin. If you would look at gold and Bitcoin and say these two things are equal. But in my opinion, today, Bitcoin's 100 times more valuable than gold. The functionality, the truly scarce supply, the ability to send it anywhere in the world, for the modern world, gold's very archaic. And I don't mean to keep shitting on gold, but I mean, you have to point out the obvious here, I think. So what does that leave Bitcoin at then? If you think that gold is significantly undervalued, and if you think that Bitcoin is more valuable than gold today, then I mean, is 100K, is 95K a lot? It's not even close. And it's honestly insane to me that more people aren't aware of this. But anyways, look at this. We got Dawson joined 8 Satoshis today. Good job, Dawson. That a boy. That's gonna be one of the best decisions of your life. I promise you that. That's gonna be it's my mission to ensure that that's the case. Renita, hello. New to your channel from NC. Great information here. North Carolina. Welcome, Renita. You are one of the, well, if your profile picture is accurate and you're not catfishing us, you are one of the 5% females that watch the show. So shout out to you as well.